Good evening, everyone. My name is Racquel Walker, and I'll be your Toastmaster mistress for today. Our speaker for today is Ogewu, and the title of his presentation / speech is Modern Networking.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The title for my speech today is Modern Networking. I was inspired by a post that I came up with on LinkedIn the other day. And what I asked people was, in modern time, is it more of who you know, or is it more of what you know? A lot of people have said, it's who you know, it's who you know, it's who you know. But I don't see a lot of people actually making moves or having actions that reflect that it's who you know. When people talk about what they want to do to advance their careers, they don't talk about, I'm going to try to meet more people in my industry. Instead, they say, I'm going to go back to school and get a master's or to get a PhD or to get an MBA. I think one of the reasons that a lot of people don't focus on networking or building their who you know is because they simply don't know how. So the purpose of today's speech is to give you some ideas, tips, if you will, on how to navigate the world of modern networking. So first thing, or the first instance that you want to keep in mind when it comes to power networking is what area that you're going to specialize in. So for example, for me, I have decided that I want to power network or network with people in the solar industry. Along those lines, I've gone to conferences, I've signed up for webinars, I've reached out on various tools to find people in that industry. By doing that, even if I've never actually met the people in person, I'm growing and making them part of my network. I'm not exactly sure when I'll need them or why I'll need them or when they'll need me, but it is important to go ahead and make those contacts so that when it's needed, I am not wasting time trying to figure out who it is that I'm trying to get in contact with. So over the years, now I've built up a network for probably thousands of people in the solar industry. And when I have questions or I need people to assist in any way, or if I can assist people in answering any questions, then there's that way of having that built out. The second thing to keep in mind after you've gone in the industry is what tools you're going to use. So as I've mentioned earlier, I've gone to conferences and I've reached out to people on LinkedIn. I would say that conferences, in-person conferences, are definitely valuable, but a tool like LinkedIn is also one of my secret weapons because you can search for people in a particular industry. And more importantly, you can also see who they're connected with and befriend them or to link with them. And also the good thing about LinkedIn is it almost serves as a CRM, a way to keep in contact to see what industry they're working in. And it's a way to reach out to see if they've made any job changes. It tells you automatically on the website, on the platform. You don't have to go through your Rolodex. You don't have to go through and necessarily ping people to see what's going on new in their life because it's automatically being told to you using those tools. So conferences and tools like LinkedIn worked well. I've looked at other tools like Facebook and Instagram, and those are just very ineffective tools as far as the kind of mindset that people are in. If you look at something like a Facebook or an Instagram, people are in a more casual or fun mood, and they're out of the professional mindset. So something like LinkedIn serves it better because people are thinking more lines of, their professional persona and they act as such. You don't see quite the political arguments or the things like that on a LinkedIn. Yeah, but if you do, you can always just go through and mute that person. Also, I think the good thing about LinkedIn and how you build your network on there is you can choose to add people who have similar interests to you. If you have your Facebook friends, those might be people you met in high school, maybe people that you grew up with, but they don't necessarily share your interest. LinkedIn, you can curate your group for people who you share interests with. The third thing to keep in mind about modern networking is content production and making sure that you put out content. It's called thought leadership. So when something strikes your mind or you see even an article that you'd like to share, you can be seen as a thought leader by distributing that to your network and staying on top of mind with your network. So for example, if you see an article about an interesting technology that's coming out with solar power, or maybe some funding that becomes available, you can post that to your LinkedIn profile and everyone in your network can see that. And even though you didn't write the article, you are still seen as a go-to person or a go-to place to get valuable and vital information. And so when someone is thinking, hey, who do I want to connect with or who do I want to give this opportunity to, they're not going to go through much effort. They're just going to rely on who comes to the top of mind. And if you're the one who's producing that content, and if you're the person who's out there, then that person will be you. So wrapping up and thinking of power networking, there are many other tools, but I just chose the top three things to think about. Going in reverse order would be the content production, making sure that you're sharing articles, writing articles, and generally letting yourself be known to your network in whatever niche that you've chosen. The second thing is using the appropriate tools, whether they be conferences or LinkedIn. And the third thing is selecting the correct niche. And the good thing about that is you can bounce around and pick different niches for what you want to use. But I encourage all of you to try it out, to see what you can do. There's no penalty in trying out a niche, and if it doesn't work well for you, going to a different one and seeing if that one works. I think that by using power networking, you'll find those opportunities coming to you. You'll be doing a lot less searching, and you'll overall be more content in whatever it is that you're trying to do in life. And with that, I will turn the meeting back over to our Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Racquel, with your speech pertaining to modern networking. It was very insightful. I do agree on Facebook and Instagram not being a platform to network, but there's many ways you can use LinkedIn to open up your network to opportunities. So thank you.